Hi, my name is Groggy Dog, and this is Chocobo Racing, the 1999 PS1 D-pad kart racer. Yeah, no joysticks, all D-pad. This is a super fun game. It came out a couple years after Mario Kart 64, very much in the style of Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing. And it's going to feature a whole cast of characters that you probably recognize in some capacity. You're going to see Chocobo, obviously, Golem, Goblin, Black Mage, Moogle, Sid, all of them and more are going to make appearances. So let's get rolling. This is the first track, Sid's test track, and as you might expect, it is bare bones basic. It is pretty hard to make up or lose too much time on this track unless things go catastrophically wrong. You're going to see me boost right here. That boost comes every 18 seconds. It's the dash ability is what it's called in-game. We're going to choose it every single time. Basically, it allows me to pick up speed and ignore any detrimental effects. So that includes any items that might be used on me later, or just going over grass when I should be on the road. For the most part, at least for the first 5 or 6 levels, we're just going to use it on cooldown. We're going to speed right past those level checkers and go on the inside track. We're going to do this one more time. The world record strat for this is to do sort of a nifty little skid and spin move, but for the vast majority of these levels, what we're going to do is just tap that skid button like you can see me doing there, instead of holding it down. That way we'll keep our speed and be able to take those really tight corners, and sure enough, just a minute in, we're going to go ahead and finish that first level. Now we are doing story mode, so you're going to see me after every single one of these levels choose a few options very quickly. We're going to say yes, we want to continue, no, we don't want to save, and no, we don't want to watch the cutscenes. We're going to have to very carefully do that as fast as possible every single time. If you mess up one of those, it potentially could be a run over, or it could add 5 to 10 seconds to your run. Every single level, we're going to add 2 things. We're going to add a new competitor. This time you can see Mog's face up at the top center screen next to Chocobo, and we're going to add a new item. So now we add, this little arrow is a boost. In Chocobo Racing, you can stack most of the items. So you can see I just got a second boost, and it's glowing a little bit now. It doesn't interfere with my dash ability. I'm going to pick up a third. The max is 3, so it's glowing really brightly now. And we're not going to use it on cooldown as soon as we get it. We are going to wait until the best possible time. I missed picking up a boost there. That's okay. It's not ideal, but it's passable. So the longer, or the more the boost that we have, the longer that effect is going to go. So ideally, we're always going to be using 3 of those stacks when possible. There are a couple times, like at the end of level, or if we are worried about something else, which you'll see later when Goblin shows up, then we'll use it without picking up 3. But for the most part, we want to wait till we have all 3. In story mode, one of the other things is that we use sort of a predetermined save file that maxes out all of our kart's capabilities, and so we're never going to have to worry about those competitors beating us in a race. We are going to have to worry about them in other capacities, but we do not have to worry about them ever beating us in a race. And just like that, we are through the second stage, Moogle Forest, and onto Ancient Gate, which is going to have our friend Golem come into the picture. We're going to hang out with Chocobo for the first 4 races, but as you can see, after every level, we gain the racer that we beat. We will change up later, but Chocobo is going to be our racer for now. There's Golem in front of us. We have about 8 frames before that go to hit the accelerator button, and then we got to go. We're going to add 2 things as well as Golem in this. We're going to add the mystery item pickup, which is just going to randomly select one, and we're going to add the fireball. Fireball also stacks. It goes from just a regular shoot out straight in front of you to a home aim. Now, on this stage, it does seem like it's more of a 60-40 split in favor of the boost than like a pure 50-50 split between boost and fireball. That may be anecdotal. I've never really tested it out, but it feels more likely to get the boost than anything else. We are still going to try and use our dash ability in the upper left on cooldown every 18 seconds. And we're going to continue to tap that skid button so that we're not just holding it down and skidding around corners and losing speed, but instead we're keeping our speed and just nicking around corners. And there we go, sure enough, we're going to get a fireball from the mystery item tile. That's okay, we're just going to shoot it off. We actually can stack items, so if I were to get a fireball and then a boost, it would go fireball and the boost would hang out behind it. But we can only have a maximum of 3 of anything at any one time, so maybe like 2 boosts and a fireball or something like that. But not too bad. That was a really good Ancient Gate, no issues, got a lot of good boosts. And we're through into Mithril Mines. Now, Mithril Mines is going to introduce Goblin, who's dancing on screen right now. He is the most infamous competitor, at least for the first 8 of the 9 stages. He also has an ability. All the racers have abilities that are, for the most part, negligible, but Goblin's ability is that every 18 seconds, he can steal whatever item is hanging out the farthest back that you have. So that means that Goblin can steal our boost. So now we are playing a little bit more defensive, and we're a little bit more into item management. I know that I'm going to get one more chance at items before his ability goes off, so I'm going to wait and see, and yep, sure enough, second boost, going to use it, so he's not going to steal. I'm going to let that run out, and then use my dash ability, so you want to use it as often as possible, and we're going to get through lap 1. Goblin's ability does come with a little bit of a warning. You're going to hear a whistle, and you're going to see a little person appear on the lower right-hand corner of the screen. It is really tough to react to that, especially if you're going around a hard turn or reacting to something else, but it is technically possible to sort of react to his steal. You saw the other item as well. We're going to introduce ice, put little ice puddles down on the ground. They spin you out. Really annoying. They can also turn into seeking items that will then spin you out. Going to maneuver past all those. Obviously, it's tough when you get one yourself because you have to put it down, and you don't want to put it down in your own way. But so far, so good. We're probably not going to have to deal with those. Yeah, avoid that one right there. Good. Use the boost. Don't worry about Goblin Steal. Just get rid of it. And use our own dash ability. Hug that corner. Clip that corner. It's okay if we clip a little bit. And we're going to finish. That was a really good Mithril Mines. It is really common to start getting hit by either fireballs or ice attacks there. So that was really good. Now we are on to the point where we get into run resets fairly frequently. So excellent. It's like the Chocobo. They're going to cancel out. We're actually using Goblin for this level. Just this once. This is Black Mage Manor. It looks a lot like Bowser's Castle, in my opinion, but, you know, different franchise. We're going to get that boost, we're going to get that. Nice little boost. Our new competitor now, like I said, is Black Mage. Black Mage has some really powerful offensive abilities, and he could potentially make our run a nightmare, and that's why there's a lot of resets here. I'm going to go up that winding staircase, hope that cage doesn't fall on us. Scoot right past. I'm going to go ahead and use the dash ability. Since I am Goblin, I don't have to worry about Goblin stealing my stuff, so I am going to get 3 boosts there. Good luck so far. Normally, you know, you're hoping that you're going to get a bunch of boosts, but you never know for sure. And yeah, I'm hitting the mystery and getting a boost. This is really good. There's a lightning. That is the new item introduced in this stage. It'll spin you out. Luckily, that was just like stage 1 lightning, so it wasn't too bad. Boosting on this ramp can be a little bit tricky, but we gotta go anyways. Okay, luckily it didn't fall on us. Gonna get a lightning and just burn it. Again, if we had Goblin Racing against us, we might keep that lightning there just to protect the boost. Alright, gonna get a second boost from the mystery, and I'm gonna use our dash ability as soon as it runs out. Burn that fireball. Now, you can fall into that lava pit. So this is the first stage where we have that sort of environmental hazard. Again, really tough to boost up this ramp and keep it tight without running into the interior. You'd rather skirt the outside than hit the interior because you'll lose a little bit more time on the inside if you do it slow. There's an ice attack. That hit everybody with Black Mage. That was his big ability. And unfortunately, yeah, there's the cage. So we're just going to try and skirt on the inside while it lifts back up. Annoying, but not the end of the world. Otherwise, doing pretty good so far. So we're gone. We're going to bump right past him. We're going to go ahead and burn this because we're basically at the end. No need to hold on to it. Again, avoid the lava, and sure enough, pretty good Bowser's Castle, aka Black Mage Manor. Could have been a lot worse. Now we're going to switch off of Goblin and onto Black Mage. The reason that we're going to do this, you can see he actually floats a little bit, so we're not going to have to worry about certain on-course hazards like those ice puddles. It's going to make turning a little bit harder. He handles a lot differently than anyone else. It's a little bit loosey-goosey, and especially in one of the upcoming levels, Volcano Valley, that's going to make things going to require a lot of precision. But as you can see, Goblin is once again our enemy, so we're going to have to sort of preciously guard our resources, and there is the new item introduced in this stage. That's Mini. Depending on the strength of the attack, 1, 2, or 3, it's going to make you a little bit smaller, and then reduce your speed for a certain amount of time. So obviously, getting hit by 1 is a little bit annoying. Getting hit by 3 of them stacked is potentially the end of a really good run, depending on when and where it comes. But for the most part, Floating Gardens is a straightforward stage. Tight turns that require you to really plan ahead and know what you're doing. It's a lot harder in this stage to get good items, just because you're not always able to come around a turn of full control with Black Mage of where you want to land, so that takes a lot of practice. Well, it's not too bad so far, only that 1 mini attack. And there's another one. If we get minied while we're boosting, then at least for the duration of the boost, it won't affect us. Alright, come around the turn. There's another mini. I'd much rather have them spaced out like that than goblins stacked up all at once. You see, you only lose about 10% speed when it's just the one of them. Alright, use that dash ability. Fortunately, couldn't get to the mystery one. Gonna have to burn that lightning. No use just right now. Swing around the corner. You saw there I picked up 2 items. You can do that. It is a little bit easier on this stage, on that specific corner, and then in the next stage, Gingerbread Land, it will be really easy to few spots. We're gonna boost and go right to the end. Decent floating gardens. Could have been a lot worse, could have been a lot better. Gingerbread Land is a fun course. There's going to be another little skip here that we can do. Basically, starting at floating gardens, we technically could not get Goblin in any of these lineups. We're always going to check the lineup at the top of the screen as soon as we start, just to see. Yeah, and sure enough, he's in it, so we do have to guard our resources. And we are getting a really important resource in this one, and it's the Reflect item. There are 2 ways to use Reflect. You can either burn it like an item, and it will, for a few seconds, bounce any attacks that come your way right back to the person who sent it to you. Or you can leave it trailing out behind you like any other item. And if it's trailing out there and someone attacks you, then it will just burn itself, and it will bounce it back anyways. And you won't get the extended protection, but it's sort of an indefinite protection. The problem, of course, is that Goblin wants to steal that item. There's the Reflect right there, that pink, so we're going to leave it out behind us. Then Goblin is going to want to steal. He'll do so in just a second. Yeah, there's that whistle, and luckily we were able to react to it that time, because we kind of knew we were doing it. It helps to burn your own dash every 18 seconds, because then you know that Goblin is going to use it, you know, on sort of a specific cue. So we're able to use it, and then at least we get a few seconds of protection out of it. Ideally, though, what you want to do is get the Reflect, and then get another item like that Jump Lightning behind it. And then you can let the Goblin steal that, and then you've got the protection for the next 18 seconds. Tight turning here, again, just tapping that skid button. Don't want to lose speed as much as possible. If you get triple minied going into that jump, you can just fall off. It's the only environmental hazard on this course, and it happens so seldomly, but it is absolutely a run ender if it happens to you. Tight turns, good boost. On to the final lap, gonna pick up that Reflect. Goblin should be stealing soon, depending on when we last used it. He's always gonna target the player if he can. Second Reflect, we're going to let Goblin steal that one. And now we've got 18 seconds of protection on this one. And sure enough, there's a mini. Going to bounce it right back to whoever sent it to us. No idea who, but they're a little bit smaller now. Okay, gonna get a boost. Gonna ignore that ice. It's a little bit tricky boosting into this. You have to be really careful as you go. Gonna get minied as we boost, should be fine. Ooh, that was a big one. But again, because we were boosted, it's really only gonna affect us right at the end. That was a really good Gingerbread Land. We got some really good luck on the resources, and we're able to stave off Goblin for the most part. Volcano Valley, we are going to be using Black Mage for the last time. This is a pretty tricky course. As you're going to see right away, there is a lot of environmental hazards to deal with. You can fall off very easily, lose time, and so we're really going to hope that that doesn't happen to us, especially with Black Mage's tricky corner handling. We have to be quite careful. I'm going to start off right away, going to get that boost, that's good. Run around this corner, go ahead and use it. Goblin is still in this race, so we have to watch out for him. The added item in this level is going to be Doom. Doom is going to put a skull over us and going to count down from 10, and then at the end of 10 seconds, it will knock us up in the air for a second or two. Nothing you can do about it except hope that you have Reflect. This area is really scary as Black Mage, because if you take the turn in the wrong way, you're going to fly up these edges and you're going to get stuck. It is really, really bad to do that. It's really also bad to hit that jump like that. You lose a half a second or a second, because again, Black Mage really takes those jumps in an extreme way compared to other runners, just because he's floating, and that's sort of the pros and cons of running a Black Mage. I get hit by that mini. Again, if it's one, it's not ideal, but it's okay, especially in a course like this where we're already turning a lot anyways. A lot worse. We're gonna boost, probably run into some corners, see how good turning we get. Yeah, that's not too bad. Gonna bump into that wall, but that's okay. You'd much rather use the boost before the valley than into it. Again, one wrong move in here can really, really screw up your run. As we're kind of finishing out this course, one thing I want to talk about is the emulation of this game. So this is on a PlayStation emulator. Depending on what you're playing it on, whether it's an original PlayStation or, ironically, the PlayStation 2 is actually the fastest one, your loading times can be a lot different. So there may be as much as like 30 seconds between, PlayStation 2 and when I'm running, or even, 15 to 20 seconds time save between different versions of the same emulator. It's not something the community has worked out super well yet in terms of best practice. Saving a really small there with several minis in a row. And then a Doom just to kind of round it out, that's really rough. But yeah, so you see like on the leaderboards, the emulators are all stacked up together, and then like the PSP and the PS2 and PS1 are all stacked up together. Just because there's sort of limits to how fast you can go when the loading screen is the thing that's holding you back a little bit. Now, to be fair, the world record holder uses some unique strats that are a lot more difficult, and very much has earned that. That is not just down to emulator difference. Alright, gonna very nearly fall into lava. We're gonna finish. That was not a bad Volcano Valley. We saved a couple seconds going into this final run, but this last one is where it really can all come together or fall apart. We're going into Fantasia. We're gonna switch off of Black Mage onto Moogle. Moogle's gonna go fast, gonna have good handling. Really nice for this last one. Gonna stick with dash though. Again, we never change dash. We always use dash. But you're gonna square off against Bahamut. A few things to note here. This is a really difficult course in terms of environmental hazards. You can fall off basically at any single place. We also unfortunately did get Goblin. We didn't get any luck in this race with getting Goblin in any of, or not getting Goblin in any of the last races. We're just gonna deal with it. Skirting that, we're gonna try right here for a shortcut. Just missed it, that's okay. Even if we miss the shortcut, we're going to save a solid 5 or 6 seconds over going the long way around, so we're absolutely going to go for it every time, even if it's not polished. And it's pretty tough to hit depending on how you take the turn. It can be really inconsistent. One other thing to watch out for is every 47 seconds, Bahamut is going to do a big race-wide attack, and everyone but Bahamut is going to spin out. Now, I'm going to try and get off the edge right here. I have one more second. Okay, so I'm actually going to get hit by it, because that was pretty bad luck. You see, that's the big attack. Everybody up top is spinning except for Bahamut. That's really rough. But we should see that 3 times throughout the race if we're doing things well. If we see it 4th, we are way too slow. Almost certainly didn't set a PB or anything like that. Gonna round this corner. Gonna hold our dash to see if we hit this boost. Yeah, good job. Okay. And we're going to boost there. Yeah, awesome. And we're going to be rewarded with a Doom that is a little bit rough. And we are going to accidentally fall off. That's no good. Got to keep going, though. That was accidental. And now we're going to throw ourselves off intentionally for the attack. You're going to see up top center, everyone's spinning but me. That's good. That means I avoided the attack. And that looked awful, and it felt really bad, too. But that was a time save, technically, so... This part is really tricky. Can't use boosts particularly effectively in this last part. And we're on to the final lap. Avoid that ice. And again, we are protecting ourselves. So that reflect is going to stay there. Goblin's going to steal lightning. Yep, he can have it. And that reflect is now ours until Goblin tries to steal again, or until someone passes. I'm going to try it one final time for this shortcut. Almost had it. We're going to fall off. Just going to go ahead and use that boost to speed up a little bit. Again, still a big time save over the usual route. And unfortunately in that turn, Goblin stole while we were not paying attention. That happens. Gonna fall off and avoid the attack. Yep, good job. Once again, gonna be rewarded with a Doom. You can really see where the RNG in this level can really just be infuriating. You can have an amazing run and then just get hurt so bad. Yeah, there's a Doom. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna hit by the lightning and then the Doom. We're going to boost. This is really dangerous back here, but we might as well use it. And we're going to fall off. That's going to cost us a couple seconds, but we should still be good. And across the line, sub 19. That's a really good run. So that's Chocobo Racing, 1999. In my opinion, very underrated kart racer. It is a lot of fun to play. And I think especially if you love Final Fantasy, it is very cutesy. It's fun to play through the story once and just kind of get a feel for it. It's not a particularly hard game, but it is a rewarding speed run because those courses are tight and fun to learn. There also is an optional Final Fantasy VIII course that you can unlock when you beat all the other courses. This was released in the same year as Final Fantasy VIII, so that might be a good donation incentive or something. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. That was Chocobo Racing, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for tuning in.